It will go where it needs to go. And the way this works is Fushiwen theory, which is to say that, you know, if I'm treating something like the acute injuries is going to treat the swelling and inflammation in the lymphatic vessels is one place that it will treat. Well, those are specific angles that resonate in the body, and we're moving the energy in a way that balances those angles in, and it will, you dab yourself with the oil and it will just go to that angle because the angle, it is oriented, the oil is already oriented according to King Wen, according to this compass. So it knows where to go, essentially.
So you did this process to these oils?
Yes, I did that process, but not with the sound tools, with Spirit Branch Medicine, which you can learn about if you go to spiritbranch.com, how to do it for yourself. So there's it's important to understand that in addition to the fact that we have lines of energy within other lines of energy, so we can treat capillaries inside bones, that we also have different levels of energy. We are like onions with different layers. And I'm just going to give you the analogy of infectious disease. If you get a virus, the virus is going to affect 2 energetic levels deep, which means that you're going to have that illness for about a week or less. It's going to take a week or less to come on, it's going to take a week or less to go off. Bacteria is 3 levels deep, which means now it's going to take 3 weeks to come on, 3 weeks to go off. Fungus is 5 energetic levels deep. That's only a couple more, but it's exponential in how long it takes to come on, and in fact, it might take on years to come on in a fungal infection, and you might never get rid of it. That's only 5 energetic levels deep. In terms of therapies, acupuncture needles. When you get treated with an acupuncture needle, it goes 2 energetic levels deep. So you need a lot of treatments. So problems are, at any of the, you can have imbalances in these angles of energy in different energetic levels. So you might have a problem in the 3rd energetic level, and you use acupuncture. It might take 5, 10 treatments. But it will get to that level, it just takes time to build up to that point. Western medicine, pharmaceutical drugs, only go to the 1st energetic level. It means that as soon as it's out of your body, it's out of your system. I mean, you have to constantly keep it in your body to keep dealing with the symptom, because it's only going one, if it went 2 energetic levels deep, you could take it once every other day. You can't do that with Western medicine. So with herbal medicine goes 3 energetic levels deep. So if you have a problem in the 3rd energetic level, taking that formula once might be enough. But if it's in the 5th energetic level, you might be on that herbal formula for a year or 2 or more. What's fantastic about Fushiwen theory is that we can treat any energetic level deep we need to.
Yeah.
So this brings me to the point of something that is really important to know about Qi infusions, which is that it might take several days for you to actually see the impact of the treatment. And I describe it as bubbling forward. So if your problem is 5 energetic levels deep, what my treatment will do is it will start from the 18th energetic level and push forward. Boom, 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 boom. So your problem at the 5th one will go to the 4th one, will go to the 3rd one, will go to the 2nd one, will go to the 1st one. And as it does that, there's 2 things that are relevant. One is that it takes a little longer for you to notice the impact. So if it's really critical for you to know the causal impact of this versus chiropractic or herbal medicine, you don't need to do this, but if that's really important to you, then just do this and see. You give it 5 days without doing chiropractic. My perspective is, if it works, that's what matters to me, so I don't think it's essential. You could use these products with homeopathy, with supplementation, with chiropractic, with acupuncture. It's not important. I mean, there's no negative impacts. People have often asked me, well, how, can you use it with homeopathy? And my analogy is like needles in a haystack. We're talking about 360 degrees by 360 degrees is tens of thousands of possible angles around your body. The possibility that the homeopathy and my treatment are treating the same angles, and plus I'm treating multiple energetic levels deep, just like homeopathy is probably going 2 or 3 energetic levels deep. I think you had figured out what that was. 4? So the likelihood of there being an impact is so incredibly small as to be 0. So you can use these products with all the other kind of self-care methods that you're doing that are good for your health. So one issue is that it might take, so some of these issues, like the sinus one I love because you can really see the impact almost immediately. Yeah, some of these, and, they're not designed to take a week for you to feel the impact. If your problem is the second energetic level, you'll feel the impact right away. It's an issue of where your imbalance is, how long it will take for you to feel the problem, feel the benefit of the treatment. And on top of that, there's an issue of things sometimes get worse before they get better. And so often when you take a medicine and you feel totally lousy after it, you say, this is toxic, this is not for me, this is evil, I'm not going to eat this. That might be true for a lot of things, but what I just described is that your energetic imbalance might go from the 5th energetic level to the 4th, to the 3rd, to the 2nd, to the 1st. And in that process, the imbalance might be coming to the surface. In Chinese medicine, we have this concept called venting a rash. When you have a rash, you want to push it to the outside. And when you do, it gets worse at first, and then it goes away. So I've had reports that the sciatica treatment, for instance, the sciatica pain for some people gets a little worse first, but you keep with it, and then it goes away. So, but from my perspective, I want things to either get better or worse. I don't want them to stay the same. If they stay the same, it means we've missed the angles of energy that are imbalanced, and we're missing your specific imbalance, whatever that is. But if it gets worse, we're on that pathway, even if it's going in a direction you're not particularly happy with immediately. There's some treatments that I have not come out with because the impacts would make people so ill at first that I don't think people are ready for such an intense kind of detox. So my experience is that fungus grows in the body, and it's a major issue with aging. And when you kill it, it will detox like crazy, and you feel horrible. And I did not come out with a product for that because I didn't want people to get that ill with my first set of products. The reputation is going to be based on this, so I don't want people going, ugh. So, but it's important to understand that your symptoms might get worse before they get better, and that's an issue of your imbalance coming to the surface, and that's an okay thing with this medicine. So there are some cautions and contraindications. One is if you're allergic to topical sunflower oil, this is not the product for you. You can request different oils. I'm happy to customize it for you. But most people, even if they have oral sensitivity to sunflower oil, don't have a topical one. So if you don't have a topical one, it's okay. If you do, then it could be a problem. So. Second one is if you're pregnant, you could use these safely probably, but I'm saying not to, just for safety's sake. I have patients, I'm treating patients who are pregnant in my office all the time with treatments similar to this, but I'm more cautious about it. So I tell people, if you're pregnant, don't use these right now.
But you don't have to worry if you can see while you're using them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a treatment here called the. There's a new name for this called Fertile Essence. Can you find that one if it's out there? But that one is, it's not just to help people get pregnant, it's also to help heal the reproductive organs for everybody, because it's a major issue where we have aging complaints. And so it's great for everybody's, for even benign prostatic hypertrophy, for uterine issues, cysts, that kind of stuff. But it also is designed to help people, because I do a lot of fertility work in my practice, to help people who are struggling with fertility. And it's used for men and women, both partners. And I just tell people, use it for the first 10 days of the cycle and not thereafter. So that should avoid people who are conceiving using it. Thank you. So the last caution and contraindications about medicine, pharmaceutical medicine, is that my goal with these treatments is not for you to use them forever. They're not, I don't perceive these as supplements where you need to take vitamin C every day or whatever you do. My goal is for you to heal from your complaint and not have to have that complaint again. So I want to put myself out of business, but I think that there's plenty of business to be had in sciatica around the world that I'm not going to put out of business. So if you are taking medicines, which most people are, it's really important to stay on top of them as to whether your condition is improving and therefore the medicine you're taking is pushing you to imbalanced state. So some of these treatments might lower your blood pressure. And if that happens and you're taking blood pressure medicine, you might get really low blood pressure. So you need to be on, that's the only caution and contraindication is be aware of the medicine you're taking, whether you need to talk to your physician about it. And I strongly advocate that you do not get off medicines without talking to your physicians, because some of them are deadly to just go cold turkey on. So if you need to lower it, talk to your physician. It's really important.
Ethan, did you bring your Chi Infusions book with you? I should have.
Can you grab a couple? Yeah, I didn't bring it.
All of this wonderful instruction he's giving us today, he's put in a wonderful book. For instance, I'm sending sets of the Chi Infusions to my children that live in different states in the country, and including the book as a gift to each of them. On the 4th of July, we're celebrating. It's my mom's birthday. She would have been 92 on July 3rd, and it's just a wonderful way to celebrate our emancipation, our freedom as a nation, that we have the freedom to choose to treat ourselves with such a advancement that's really thousands of years old, to advance into the past, I call it. I
like that.
I really love it. And so I thought it was a perfect gift to give for the 4th of July to all of my adult children. I have 6 children and 8 grandchildren. So this book is a wonderful book. He has taught, you must have memorized this book verbatim that you wrote. Probably. Because that's it's pretty much going along the structure of what he's taught us today, but it's wonderful to be able to hand it to someone with a Chi Infusion as a gift. I'll bring it up to the table.
Wonderful. So, I also want to talk about the fact that I'm an environmentalist, and so I designed this. My wife highly encouraged me to design this from the ground up from an environmental perspective. So, all the components except for one of these are recyclable. The actual oil is in glass. Glass can be recycled infinitely, so it's a perfect holder for it. The bottle has caps and the inside part that's plastic. Those are recyclable. These little guys are recyclable, number ones. This is cellulose, which you can put in your garden. Not that I'm telling you to, but it will decompose. Yeah. The bottle is inside is held by cellulose also. And the only thing that's not recyclable at this moment, because I have to source it, is the cotton, ironically, is plastic. So, but you can use that with packaging things so that they don't break when you send them. All right, so anybody have any questions before I start to go off into the individual products?
You see where your method might fit in the general concept of inferior versus superior in the Chinese system of herbs. You know, the inferior is being one that would treat it
like tonics versus, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where you might actually find a way to apply it in a superior way. Where
Yeah, well,
you would
so-
use it over a lifetime.
So there are products I'm coming out with. For instance, one's called Visual Acuity, and it's designed to keep your eyes sharp. So that one, for instance, you could use very regularly like a tonic. I have one. First of all, you can use all of these together. There's no, in terms of timing, you could use them all at the same time and rub them in. There's no, I just wanted to remember that point as I'm answering your question. So people often ask me, do I need to use one or at a time or another? But they're all based on bringing you back to balance. So they're not going to harm you, and therefore certain ones that if you find that are very tonifying like that, like the Visual Acuity, there's one for deep sleep that I'm coming out with this month that also is going to be the same kind of, it's enriching your yin, so, but only does if you need it. So essentially it's kind of as needed situation.